Welcome everyone. My name is Tivankar. I'm the managing director of Tech Gates. Today we are gonna talk about Flatrix call center stats reporting. So we are gonna discuss what are the reports that are available in the reporting panel, and how do you measure the performance of your call center and as well as your agents. The first thing is I'm gonna have to log into the reporting panel. So you will receive the credentials to log into this portal from our technical team. So once you log into the portal, you have your the call queues here, and you have your agents here. So I'm gonna select, first thing is you will have to select the call queues and the agents that you need to run the report on. So these are the call centers that we do on behalf of our the clients. So I'm gonna select the several call queues from here. Alright, so I'm gonna have to select the agent. So I'm gonna select all my agents. Alright, so then I'm gonna have to select the date. So I'm gonna select yesterday. I'm gonna pull up the yesterday report. Right, let's see what we got. Alright, I'm gonna click display report. I think so we don't have. Right, so I had select the three call queues. We don't have any calls in the English the queue. So let me run on another date. So let's just go back a little bit and let's see what we got on 21st. Alright, here we are. Alright, so in here you can see there are actually 57 calls has been received and 56 has been answered, and one call was abandoned. And in the distribution queue section, you have in queue wise, you can see how many calls each call queue has been received, and how many were answered and how many were abandoned. And so actually there are two things, unanswered and abandoned. So actually there are quite difference between this unanswered and abandoned. I mean, not significant, but they're small different. I'll tell you what the difference is. Like the when we say unanswered, the unanswered calls are meant to be the calls that was not answered by the agents, right? So the abandon, in the other hand, abandon is like the caller was waiting in the call queue and the caller hang up the call, right? So that's what meant by the abandon. uh, but again, it depends on the configuration of your call center, right? So let's just open any call queue here. Let's just open the single call queue. All right, so if you expand this, you can see everything in detail, right? So you can see the agent who answered the call, and date and timestamp, and the call queue, and the number. And this is a pretty important thing, event. So this will give the indication of who hung up the call, whether the caller or the agent, right? And right, this is the ring time. So this is actually reflecting to the unanswered, the thing I had talked about earlier. So in this call center setup, so we have all the agents to be answered automatically. So then like there's no way the call is abandoned from the, like, call is like unanswered from the agent, right? So we have set it to auto answer like within 3 seconds. So the whenever the call is received by the agent, it's just auto answer from the software. So agent doesn't have to manually intervene and click the answer. So in that case, so we don't have unanswered calls that are, I mean, abandoned from the agent. And this is the wait time. So the wait time and ring time can be different. Like I told you, the ring time is the actual time agent phone was ringing until he or she answer the call. So in this case, again, we set it for auto answer. Then the call should get auto answer within 3 seconds. So it may be different depending on your call center setup. And the wait time is the time that actually the caller was waiting in the queue in order to connect to an agent. And here we have the talk time, and here we have action button to play and download the record.
අයිබෝන් සලස් හරි
Alright, here we have options to download. Alright, so you can expand any of these call queues to see the in detail. Alright, and so we do have some nice graphs here and distribution per month. So we have only the partial data because I just ran the report on the particular day. So in order to have more data here, so we have to run for longer duration. Alright, so let's just go back to the distribution report. So I'm gonna select a couple of call queues here other than 3 call queues. So before that, there is some important thing I would like to highlight. So what is this OB mean? So the OB is typically meant by the outbound. So we can have multiple call queues for outbound operation as well. But I'm not gonna select those outbound call queues. I'm gonna select all my inbound call queues here. And yeah, so I select all the agents, and then I'm gonna run the report on entire August month. Alright, so display reports. Alright, so here we are. So we do have so distribution queue, again number of calls has been received by each call queues and how many were answered and how many were abandoned, average wait time, so average talk time, and the max callers. The max callers is the maximum number of the callers which were waiting in the call queues, so within that time period. And this is the answered percentage and unanswered percentage, and here we do have the SLA. So in all of these call queues, we do have 97% of answer rate, and the abandon rate is only 2%, which is pretty much good. And so we do have some nice graphs here, and the per month report. So we do have only August report, right? And distribution per week, so week of the year. So yeah, so again you can expand any of these. This expandable option is available everywhere. Alright, so you do have expand option here as well. Alright, so let's just move into the distribution per day report. So you can get an idea, so what are the days in particular month you got most of the calls. In here I think you can sort it out likewise. Alright, 21st of August, the day that we got most of the calls. Alright, and distribution hour reports. This is pretty important. So if you run the statistics for the month or a couple of months, you can get an idea, right? These call centers are that I have selected. These call queues are starting from 8:30 to 6 o'clock in the evening. So within that time frame, you can get an idea. So what are the hours that you get most of the call? Let's just sort it out. Yes, right. So between 9 and 10, the time frame that we get most of the calls in this example. Alright, again you have some nice graphs here, and distribution per day of the week. Alright, this is super important. So if you run the statistics for a couple of months or months, you can get an idea what are the days that you get most of the calls. So depending on that, you can do agent allocation more efficiently. So let's just sort it out and see. Right here we go. We have the Monday. Well, Monday is the date that we get most of the calls. Alright, again here we do have some graphs and the distribution detail report, so you can export it to Excel. Let's move into the answered the call report. So let's just click on the answered call by summary. Alright, at the beginning, so we do have service level. That is very important. This will tell you how many call has been answered within 15 seconds and how many within 30 seconds, right? And answered by queue, and the queue wise how many calls has been answered. And this is pretty important report. So how many calls how many calls each agent were able to answer. So and you can see, so these are the number of calls each agent has been received and how many calls they were able to answer. And as a percentage, this will give you an idea who answer the most of the calls. And the talk time, and the talk time, total talk time, and the talk time percentage, and average talk time, and the total ring time, and the total wait time, average wait time, and the max wait time. So the max wait time is the wait time that the caller has to wait in the call queue in order to connect to this particular agent. So these are some the graphs you can see. Alright, and the disconnection, the course, it will say the completed by agent how many calls, and completed by call how many calls. So in everything, if you expand, you can see the everything in detail. Like in every section, if you can see this expandable button, and if you expand, you can see everything in detail. So this option is available in all the queue sections, all the report sections. Alright, so we do have answered by call length, and these are the talk time. So how many calls we do have ended within 15 seconds, there's none. And so we do in here we do have actually 2 calls that was lasted below 45 seconds. So like I told you, you have this drill down option on every the report. That is pretty convenient. And again, we do have the detailed reports you can export to Excel or the PDF, and that option is available on every section as well. Yeah. Alright, so let's just move into the next report, unanswered. So actually we don't have much unanswered call on this report. So anyhow, this is the service level. So this will tell you how many calls were abandoned within given seconds. And we do have disconnection cause and unanswered calls by queue. So actually I would like to highlight a couple of important things on this report. So as I explained earlier, related to the unanswered and abandoned, so assuming your call center is not set up for the auto answer and agent is not configured to answer the call automatically, so and in that case, in the queue configuration, so we will give the agent the timeout, right? So the timeout is the seconds that agent should answer the call, right? So let's just say we give 20 seconds of timeout, right? Agent timeout, and agent should be able to answer the call within 20 seconds. So if the agent is unable to answer the call within 20 seconds, so we consider it as an unanswered call from that agent. So in that case, you will have the agent name and the seconds appear here. So typically you can see, and the agent who was not able to answer the call, and how many seconds that agent phone was ringing. So that is pretty important, and basically you can identify, the people who are not answering the calls in your call center. So like again, so I would highly recommend to set it for auto answer, then you don't have that burden. Alright, so let's just move into the agent report. So this is really important report for call center supervisors out there, and this is where you measure the performance of your agents. And here we do have agent availability report, and here we have number of calls answered by each agent and how many calls were rejected. Actually, this reject doesn't mean the agent had rejected the calls. So in this the call center the setup, so we configure in a way that agent can't actually reject the call. So there's no option for agents to reject the call, even though agent keeps pressing the decline button, the agent keeps getting the call. So this reject means the system is actually trying to pass the call to agent when the agent is already on a call. So that's what it means. And the failed is the actually the calls were not able to answered by the agents, right? And the failed out is the call. These are the typically outbound calls, and the fail out in the sense like the calls that is that actually not answered by the customers, right? And how many, this means how many sessions does this agent has in particular the time frame. So I just ran the report on a particular day, and here we do have the session time and the agent's total work time. Usually in a call center environment, agent work for like 9 hours including 1 hour break. And this is the session percentage, and this pause means how many breaks that agent had took in a particular date. So usually the agent would get 1 hour break per day. And in here you can see whether the agent had exceeded their break time in a particular date, and their break as a percentage. The pause is we refer to the breaks, and their total talk time, and the total wrap up time. So the wrap up time is, I think if you have seen the previous video, so you would have now you have an idea about what's the wrap up time is. So wrap up time is basically the time that the agent will get after hang up the call. So there are a few seconds of time agent to complete the back office work, and this is total hold time. So how many minutes or the seconds so agent put hold customers in a particular date. And this is the idle time, and this we have the average handling time of that agent. So if you expand this, you can see all the activities the agent had done in a particular the time frame. So in here the agent had started her shift at 8:59, which is pretty good because she is supposed to start the session at the 9 o'clock. Alright, and soon as she logged into the queue, she got a call at 9:02. And again, so while she's on a call, the system had tried to bridge another call to her. So unfortunately she was on a call and it got rejected. So that's simple as that. And again she went to the wrap up mode, where the 20 seconds we have configured. So you can configure that queue wise. Based on each queue you can customize that. Yeah. And here we do have the agent took a short break of 3 minutes, and again she took another short break of 6 minutes. Yeah, so likewise you can monitor their activities. Alright, and here she ended her shift at 8 o'clock in the evening. and she had worked total 9 hours per day. So likewise you can expand any of these and you can go into detail, right? And this is one of the important thing, and they are break detail. So how many lunch break each agent had took per day, and how many short breaks and their total time, right? And this agent had took 10 short breaks in a particular date and total of 37 minutes, right? And call disposition by agent, like I explained you earlier, completed by caller, completed by agent. And this here we do have the full agent report. So you can expand this and you can yeah, get some detail. And again, you do have options to export. So let's just move into the next one, search. So here we do have search option. You can select the date range and the call queue, agent, event, the wait time, talk time, and especially the number. So if you want to find out a particular the call, so you have to select the adjust the appropriate date range, and you have to enter the number and do the search. So that's simple as that. Alright, so let's just move into the next one, and that is the real time. So this is kind of important thing on this. So this will give you the real-time visibility of your call center. So what are the calls are waiting on each queues, and who are the who are the agents that are already on call, right? And in here you can see in particular dates how many calls has been answered and how many were abandoned, right? So this just the today's real-time view, and average wait time, so average duration. So likewise in here you can see the last call was how long ago, and the total calls each agent has answered in a day so far. Alright, so let's just make a call and see how it works.
Welkom to Flatrix Group of Companies. Genieten de boodschappen van de haar afdrukken en wat kunnen. I want Flatrix.
You can right, so you can see there was a call on queue, and actually call has been connected to the agent. So you can see the caller ID and the call queue, right, and the duration. So yeah, so I think so that's pretty much about the real time. So right, so that's pretty much we covered everything about the call center stats report. So if you have any question, you can reach us and reach to our technical support, and they will more than happy to assist you. Alright guys, then thank you for watching. So have a nice day.